book besties. Welcome to More Than a Book Club podcast. I'm your host, Leyna.
And I'm your other host, LJ.
And today we are going to talk about our book club book, which was Mate by Ali Hazelwood. And we're also going to talk about another book that LJ and I both read.
Yes.
Not Quite Dead Yet by Holly Jackson. I had to think for a minute.
I was impressed. I was ready to rescue you. This is also a big episode because it is our last episode of 2025. We will not be publishing episodes after this until January of 2026 because we're going to take this time to focus on preparing
some new
for
projects.
some new projects with the podcast for 2026. We promise it'll be worth the time that we are not publishing, but we will still be active on our social media. So be sure especially to follow us on Instagram, which then posts directly to Facebook. So if you're more of a Facebook person, and then TikTok, I'll be honest, sometimes it's hit or miss.
And tell everybody what our Instagram handle is.
That is probably a good idea. Both our Instagram and TikTok are at More Than a Book Club Pod.
And while you're on a break from our podcast, this is a great time for you to go in and rate and review our podcast. Follow along so that whenever we do publish that episode in January, you're going to get it first. Like it'll just automatically come to you.
Yes.
So go ahead and subscribe to our podcast. We have, I think it is still about 40% of our listeners do not subscribe.
That's
so
crazy.
make sure that you are subscribing so that you can get that information. And then follow us on Instagram and maybe we'll drop some hints about some things that we're doing. I don't know. Or some behind the scenes work. Who knows?
Who knows?
We'll see.
It's a surprise.
So, Mate by Ali Hazelwood.
Should we read a description of it maybe so people know what it is? Okay. Mate is the sequel to Bride by Ali Hazelwood. And Bride was kind of her foray into fantasy. I would say fantasy rom-com. Wouldn't you call it that?
Yes.
Because there were big things that happened, but there was a lot of fun in it too. So Mate is the sequel. And it says a human hybrid and an alpha were claw against the bonds of fate in the highly anticipated companion novel to the New York Times best-selling Bride. Serena Paris is orphaned, packless, and one of a kind. Coming forward as the first human-were hybrid was supposed to heal a centuries-long rift between species. Instead, it made her a target, prey to the ruthless political machinations. That one. Between wares, vampires, and humans. With her enemies closing in on her, she has only one option left, if he'll have her. As Alpha of the Northwest Pack, Cohen Alexander commands obedience. His authority is so absolute, only a fool would threaten his mate. It doesn't matter if Serena doesn't reciprocate his feelings. Nothing will stop him from keeping her safe. But power-hungry vampires and wares are not the only threats chasing Serena. Sooner or later, her past is bound to catch up with her, and Cohen might be the only thing standing between her and total annihilation.
Okay. So I had been very much looking forward to this book because I loved Bride. Mm-hmm. And Ali Hazelwood is one of those authors that we've mentioned this before, where I either love or hate her books. That's kind of where I lie, in my diagram of Ali Hazelwood.
Yes.
And I loved The Love Hypothesis.
Me too. I loved such
Bride.
a good.
And it's so disappointing whenever you're looking forward to a book so much and then it's just doesn't deliver. And I felt like for me, this book was, I rated it 3 stars, but it felt more like a 2.5.
I agree with that because, so The Love Hypothesis, it's one of my favorite, rom-coms of all time. I absolutely love it. And we've talked about there is a part where it's just love this guy, just love him.
Yes.
And then I've tried
and
others.
It's spicy and wonderful in the best ways.
But not too spicy, which we'll get to that in a minute.
Okay.
But with her other regular romances, I did not love them. I didn't make it through very many. And so with Bride, we were excited when we read it. We're like, oh my gosh, this is so fun. And it's so different. She has found what she should write. But I gave both of them 3, but here's the difference. Bride, I gave it 3 stars, but it was like a fun book, not as
Oh.
like it was a positive 3. Because I give this just shows the nuances when I give a 3. I give 3s to books that I enjoy, but I'm like, they're not really quality, but I really liked them. Then I give 3s to books where I'm like, I didn't, they're okay. And
Okay.
so it's kind of funny. I gave them both 3s, but really, Bride was more like 3.5. And like you said, Mate was more like 2.5.
And so for me, I gave Bride 5 stars. No notes. Like, loved it. I thought it was so funny. And the main character in Mate is best friends with the main character that was from
Mm-hmm.
Bride. So you get to see them interact a little bit still. So that
Mm-hmm.
was, I think, a positive for me because the main character in this book, Serena, she just was not my jam.
No, she had no personality. I'm sorry, but she
Hmm.
did not. Her only personality was to lie or fight back, like resist Cohen. And he didn't have a lot of personality either. Like, neither of them did. And the thing is, like you said, the best parts of this book were Misery.
And
And
Misery is her best friend
yeah,
from Bride.
yeah.
And that was like really the only parts that I liked whenever Misery would make an appearance. And it's like, oh, they're FaceTiming. That's hilarious. Like, I love this.
No,
Misery sent her pictures. She had asked for pictures of the cat.
mhm.
And she sent pictures of the cat's poop.
Yeah.
She's just very sardonic and hilarious. And that carried through in this book. But I'm like, Serena just didn't have that personality, didn't have
No.
the fun banter with Cohen. Like
No, she
there
didn't.
wasn't much.
It was all sexual tension. And here's the thing. At first I was like, "Oh, she's writing good tension." But then it felt like, okay, so we've had the tension, we've had the tension. Okay, there's no plot really, no plot really. We've got like 70% of the book is this. And then the rest is like, "Oh my gosh, we are going to make up for the last 70% by have them in the bedroom or wherever, and that's all we're going to get." And they still don't have any personality. Still, like, there's because that's the thing is, like, that's where their love story is unbelievable because we don't ever see them being people together besides small talk.
Yes, and they're supposed to be mates. They're supposed to
Yes.
be this like bonded
Right.
thing, but he doesn't seem that interested in her at all. Like
No.
even like okay.
He's
So,
just territorial. He's territorial, like, "That's my toy, not yours."
yes. And that's all it was.
Mhm.
It felt very childish, the whole thing. I don't want to give
Yes.
anything away. So
You know what? Okay,
I'm
here,
trying
we're
to be
gonna
careful
say,
with spoilers.
I don't this time we're doing spoilers because I
Okay.
have some stuff
Okay.
to say. We're going to do spoilers. So if you don't want spoilers, you want to go read it first, pause, come back because what one of the things we're talking about is trying to be better about not spoiling. But I don't feel like these are good books. Like I don't feel as bad about
Okay.
spoiling these. But for real, if you don't want them spoiled, pause, go read them, come back.
And
Okay,
then you
go
can
ahead.
understand why we don't like it.
Yeah, so
So
feel
he
free.
has this whole thing where he is mated to her, and then it's discovered that there's a covenant where, as an
He's
alpha,
celibate. He's
he's
celibate
celibate.
for 10
That's part.
years. The
I
last
thought it
10
was
years.
20.
No, but has it been? Oh, yeah, because he's older than her. So, yes, it's been
Yes.
20 years since
So
he was like 15,
he was 15 when he became alpha, and then
which that's a whole
he
nother thing. Here we go.
a whole other thing.
Young
Buckle up.
person. Yeah, I'm just like, whatever. Anyway,
So he was 15, became the leader of this pack, had to take a vow of celibacy, and then he meets his mate, and apparently has this like sexual draw to her.
mm-hmm.
But
To literally mate because he's a dog.
right, because he's a
And so is
werewolf.
she. She's a half dog. I know they're werewolves, but I feel like we don't get enough of that in this book that I'm like, I don't even want to call them that.
Mm,
Anyway,
interesting.
go ahead.
I
Go ahead.
can totally understand that though, because it felt okay. So
Keep going.
I'm like, how to explain this? They say they're not going to have sex. She is sick. She's dying. She's been told by doctors that she's dying. And
By were doctors.
were doctors, not just human doctors. She has gone specifically to where doctors, been told that she's dying, that she has, like months to live, basically.
Mhm.
And what does she do? She tells no one.
Right?
She doesn't
Doesn't
tell her best friend, doesn't tell her mate, doesn't tell anyone.
and doesn't spend time with the people she loves.
Yes. The whole thing just felt so weird. We just saw her in the last book in Bride.
Mhm.
And the whole premise of Bride was that Misery had gone in search of her best friend / sister. She calls her
Who
sister,
we thought was worth it.
but apparently not. And so the Serena in that book hadn't told her sister what was going on. And in this book didn't tell her like, I would just be kind of pissed if my best friend / sister did not
Yes.
tell me these things. And it's like,
Right? Mhm.
again with the not telling.
Mhm.
And then it turns out that, surprise, she's not actually dying. She's just in heat. So she's just horny.
That is what I cannot get over. That this whole illness, and that's all it is that she basically, well, she wasn't, she was beginning to go there. Like he said, at one point, he's like, us meeting like triggered it. And
Yes.
so then, and she couldn't shift or any of these things. And like it was coming on, like it was coming on for like 3 months. Like
Yes. And
what?
okay. So, like you said, she had gone to werewolf doctors.
Yes.
They don't know about female werewolves going into heat.
No.
Like, this is supposedly a common thing because you don't go into heat just with your mate. You go into heat just
Well,
in general because,
they said it's triggered by meeting your mate.
okay,
Supposedly. That was said, but then that doesn't make sense because they don't all have their mates. They
they
haven't
don't
all
all have
found.
their mate. And they were talking about how it's really just a way to encourage sex.
So
The other thing I
basically,
had a question
we
about,
found a hole in the plot right there, Leyna.
the other thing I had a question about was at one point, I believe Cohen mentions that you only get the knot
Oh, God. With your, yes,
when you're with your mate.
correct. He does say that.
But then previously, he talked about how women could barely handle him because he's so large.
I think that's
As
without
male
the,
romance, yeah.
yes.
But with the knot, and he kept talking about how she would need extra lubrication and
Oh
all
my
this
God.
stuff.
Oh my God. I
And
know. And I'm like,
it was
it was too much.
too much.
And it just kept going and going.
Yes.
We had many things where this was talked about and described. And
It's just not sexy to me.
then okay, this do you remember she was nesting by collecting pillows and blankets? I'm like, what the hell? Like she was making a nest in her bed. I'm sorry. Like what? Like all of this. I'm just like, of all the things in fantasy, this is how we're gonna go about it. It
Yes.
literally did not feel like a fantasy novel at all, except they kept referencing things.
Yes.
And
It felt like they just happened to be werewolf / werewolf hybrid.
yes, I it did not do it for me.
No, it was just an afterthought. And I get, so with the whole, Serena is dying thing, I feel like Allie Hazelwood was trying to talk about how women's health isn't taken seriously and some
But
of
they
these other
did.
things,
They
but
were
they
taking it
did take it
seriously. They
seriously.
just were wrong in the diagnosis.
They were wrong in the diagnosis. And also, didn't they say that werewolves, like having children it's kind of rare?
It sounded like they said something like that. So why and they have their alpha that they think is amazing. Wouldn't they want him to have children that could potentially.
Well, not only that, why do they have a midwife if children are so rare? Why do they have a specialized doctor just for
I don't
pregnancy?
know.
Like, that just felt kind of weird.
Yes.
Okay, kids are rare, but we're going to have a doctor for this. But also, the other doctors don't know about heats, which supposedly women go through. Like, it just didn't make sense to me.
No, it did not make sense. And we haven't even gotten to the whole cult thing where somehow the reason he can't part of the reason of the covenant is because the humans, like, wiped them out.
That it was so complicated. It was needlessly complicated. They were throwing around people's names. It turned out that Serena's dad, who was a werewolf, he was kind of like an alpha of his own pack or whatever, but he was a cult leader, and so
Yeah.
he was convincing people that they could
Become a werewolf,
turn werewolf.
which
And
is
so
like the lore of other werewolf novels. You bite, you get bit, you
yes.
become a werewolf.
And so he was trying to impregnate women, and then they would have werewolf babies.
Yes.
And so that's how Serena came to be.
Yes.
And so she was a cult leader's daughter, and the cult leader, her father, killed Cohen's parents
Yes.
and caused all this ruckus, like broke up all these packs and killed everybody's parents. And then Cohen ended up killing her mom and dad, Serena's mom and dad.
Yeah.
Like it felt too far-fetched. It's like, really?
Right. It just all was, yeah, it was a mess.
It was a
It was
mess.
not
And
good.
then
And
he's supposed to be this like overprotective, I'm going to track everybody down, kill him. But somehow her aunt
but her
from
aunt is a werewolf.
25, right. But wouldn't he have put her down too?
You would have thought.
Her aunt, who was also part of the cult and all this stuff.
Like, technically was like the new leader of the cult.
Yes. So you would have thought that he would have found who these people were, who were the remnants of the cult, and taken
Eliminated
them out.
them. Yeah.
Because he's supposed to be ruthless.
Yeah.
And
And then there
they
was
make
like
a big point of like they take people's bodies and put them on pikes and things like that to show how ruthless they are. And I'm like, but he's just letting these people that killed his parents get away? Like,
right.
yeah.
I don't even know. I don't even know. So, and I guess this might have just been made up for the cult. Like, she was prophesied that prophesied
Yes.
that she was gonna, be whatever. And it's like, really? Like,
Just
I don't
all
know.
of it. That whole thing, it was like, what are we doing here? Like,
No.
this could have been just a romance, but it was almost like she wanted to add in a mystery of her beginnings and how
I
she
think
came to be.
I think she didn't know where to go from her vampire romance. And like,
Mhm.
she did what a lot of romance authors do is the next book is about
The
other
best friend,
characters.
or yeah.
Yeah. But then she didn't know how to maintain this world.
Yes.
And it wasn't the same world. It was, but it wasn't. So I think she didn't know what to do. And I think because of her popularity and the popularity of Bride, I also wonder if there was pressure to put it out too fast. Like, this is what I think about, I bring up Allegiant a lot from the
Mhm.
Divergent series. She wrote the first two, and then they were like, we're going to make a movie. And then now we need the final one. And I really think she rushed it. I think she didn't know where she was going. And this is really judgmental from someone who is starting to write now, that I get that. But
Mhm.
I don't know. I feel like it had so much potential.
It had potential. I think she threw too much at the wall to see what would stick, and
Yeah.
it didn't stick. It didn't pan out. Um, I also didn't feel like it was realistic that Cohen would just break his covenant.
No,
And
that did not make sense at all when that happened. He just
after
decided
the
it's going to be okay.
midwife, his seconds, all these people had come to Serena and been like, I hope you're not going to take our leader from us, and I hope you're not going to do this, and don't make him break his covenant. And then all of a sudden they're all
It's
okay
like,
with it.
okay. Right. That
It was
didn't make
like,
sense.
okay, you're not dying, you're in heat, your mate needs you.
Well, and I also thought, okay, she's in heat. They spend all this time. How is she not pregnant at the end?
Well, because the midwife gave her pills to take so that she wouldn't get pregnant, which is the whole point of the heat.
Okay, but I thought she went back to get that and then didn't get it because of all the stuff that happened I guess I got confused.
Maybe
Because there
she
was
didn't.
too much stuff. There was too much stuff. I got
There was
confused.
too much stuff. This was a long book.
It was.
Like,
300. Oh, no, that's not that one. I already switched to the next book. Never mind. But it was a lot of pages.
It was a lot of pages, and I felt like if they would have cut some of the stuff out, if Allie would have cut
Mhm.
some of the stuff out, that it would have been a better book.
But it still would not have been great.
It still not would not have been great. It missed the banter, it missed the playfulness.
Mhm.
There was
That
no
we know
grumpy
she can
sunshine.
write. Like, we
Yeah,
know
there was
she
no
can write.
grumpy sunshine. There was no, like, I couldn't figure out what type of book she was
Romance,
trying to write. Enemies to lovers, grumpy
but it
sunshine, like
wasn't.
where, but
It wasn't, though.
none of it fit.
Like, we heard he was grumpy with his pack, but we didn't see his grumpiness. So I
Yeah,
don't know. I don't know. But it was
it was a
not great.
miss.
It was a miss. And so shall we go on to our other
Let's
book?
go on to our other book, and this is kind of a bonus. This is the
We weren't
episode of
planning.
books we didn't really like.
Yeah. So I have the Goodreads write up for it. So this
Okay.
is Not Quite Dead Yet by Holly Jackson. If you don't know, she's the author of A Good Girl's Guide to Murder and the sequels to that, which I did not love the sequels. I love that one. And the reappearance of Rachel Price, which I did love. So here is the blurb about Not Quite Dead Yet. Okay, in 7 days, Jet Mason will be dead. Jet is the daughter of one of the wealthiest families in Woodstock, Vermont. 27 years old, she's still waiting for her life to begin. I'll do it later, she always says. She has time. Until Halloween night, when Jet is violently attacked by an unseen intruder. She suffers a catastrophic head injury. The doctor is certain that within a week, the injury will trigger a deadly aneurysm. Jet has never thought of herself as having enemies, but now she looks at everyone in a new light. Her family, her former best friend turned sister-in-law, her ex-boyfriend. She has at most 7 days, and as her condition deteriorates, she has only her childhood friend Billy for help. But nevertheless, she's absolutely determined to finally finish something. Jet is going to solve her own murder.
So I have a couple things to say about this book.
Go for
The
it.
first, I listened to the audiobook and the narration. I've never listened to an audiobook and hated it so much. They made Billy's character, which is her childhood best friend, sound like he was 10 years old.
No.
He sounded awful, like a sniveling child. I was like, he's supposed to be an adult?
Oh gosh.
How? Like it was awful. Like it turned me off of the book
No.
itself. That being said, she's trying to figure out who murdered her.
Mhm.
And you know who murdered her? She did, by not getting surgery. That could
Okay,
have saved her life.
that could have saved her
That's the
life.
that's the
That's
first problem I have with this book.
yes.
Because there was an opportunity. She has an aneurysm that's going to burst at some point, right? It hasn't formed yet at this point. They just know that it's going to form an aneurysm. It's going to burst.
Yeah.
And they have a surgery that they could perform. There's a chance that she'll die on the table. But there's a chance that she'll be saved too. Otherwise, she's for sure going to die. So those are her two options. Her
Mhm.
family wants her to go have the surgery. Like her
Mhm.
mom is bawling over this, and Jet's like, nah, I want to solve my own murder.
Like,
And I'm just,
there would be no book though, Lena. She would
I
either die on
know,
the
but it was a
table.
stupid premise.
I mean, I guess she could have still tried to find the person, but then it would have been something, it would be a lesser charge. But first of all, if this is such a rare thing, how do they know for sure that an aneurysm will in fact form? And I'm sorry, if that's the case, I don't think she would have been released from the hospital that quickly. I don't think she would have been doing as well.
Functional.
Like, she
Yeah.
wouldn't be as functional. And I know they mentioned the headache a bunch, but still, it just, none of that was plausible at all. Like, it did not make sense. And the red herrings that she threw in weren't that great. Like, the whole, which we're giving spoilers, the whole sister in law going in and changing out the pills.
Her sister-in-law is psycho.
Right.
Like,
Like,
why is she not being locked up and in jail? Like
right.
they kind of glossed over that.
No. And then when she's like, if you tell your brother, I'm going to tell you this. And like, I'm sorry, the big top secret thing there that supposedly sent his mom away was such BS. Like, he had to know that that would not be what would send his mom away.
And we're talking about Billy's mom, who is
Yeah.
the childhood best
Who
friend,
kept getting mentioned that she left him at 18. He got 2 cards from her and never heard from her again. That was said multiple times as well.
multiple times. And LJ and I have beef with this.
We do, because she set up for a really good twist. Like, I was waiting. The end,
Mhm.
because, spoiler alert, the murderer is who, Leyna?
Can you believe I actually forgot?
Okay.
So it would be like reading this book again for me. I
Okay.
believe it's the next door neighbor, the sheriff, right?
Yeah, Billy's dad.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Billy's
I
dad.
was like, do I have it right?
And he wasn't the sheriff. He was like the assistant. He didn't get voted in for sheriff, remember?
I thought he had previously been voted in, but not. Okay. Never mind.
No, he was not I mean, maybe he was before, but he was not voted in. And that was his whole motive, is that he figured out at this thing that this one guy mentions that he voted for him. And so doing the math of these like 5 people, he realized that it was mm, Jet's mom who he had an affair with. And then he was the father also of her younger brother, or her older brother or something. Someone, younger brother. No, older brother, the middle
He's
child,
older. He's the
who's
middle.
still
Yeah.
alive. And I mean, all of that was such a mess. But this whole time, like as it's leading up to us knowing for sure it's him, which it kind of, we both figured that out too, it made it seem like he offed the mom. It made it seem like she left.
Very much so. Because
And then,
they talk about how much she loved her family,
yeah.
and then she's just
And her
gone.
son, she left her son with someone she suspected of murder. She would not have left her son with a murder. She had figured it out.
And she
And then
didn't take her clothes and stuff with her either,
that's
right?
the other thing too. She just left without her
She
clothes.
just left.
Like, that's
And it
not
all turned out to
realistic.
be like, in Jet's mind, it was that she left because Jet was trying to get her to pass her on a test or something. Like, it
Yeah.
didn't seem realistic, and it seemed more realistic that the dad would kill the mom
Right. Right.
based on the facts that we had, because he had already cheated on the mom,
Yes.
had produced a child with her,
Mhm.
had, we've later learned, he covered up a murder.
Yes, his son had
Luke, who is Jet's brother,
had held her under the water, their sister, and she died. So then he set up for her hair to have been caught, which this whole time too. Okay, I always was afraid of drains, not because of my hair. It's very unlikely that your hair would be caught in the drain. You would have to pull yourself to it. It's more likely that fingers get
oh,
caught in the drain,
I
because
didn't know
hair,
that.
she could rip her hair out. Like, she could hold on and rip out. Like, I'm sorry. Like,
I
if you
feel
think of,
like
because
back
hair,
in the 80s, though, kids used to get their hair stuck in
I don't
the.
think it was hair, it was fingers. It was
I
fingers
thought it
and
was hair.
toes. I always heard
We're going to
fingers
have
and
to
toes.
Google.
I'm gonna Google it right now. Is it common to get hair stuck in a pool drain?
Hair gets caught in drains, not fingers, because it clumps with soap scum. Wait, no.
That's not that's not it. Um, okay. I guess it is, but I
Okay.
just feel like,
Both hair and fingers can get caught in pool drains. Hair can get easily sucked into a drain, while strong suction can trap fingers or limbs. And this
okay,
is
but
a
I feel like
strange,
your
a
hair's
dangerous phenomenon known as suction and trap.
okay, but I just feel like I just
I feel like that was a big thing. Like, I remember.
I remember being taught, don't stick your fingers in the drain. And my grandparents had a pool. So, like, it was a big deal. Like, don't stick your fingers in the drain, which is more common, fingers or hair stuck in drain. Hair entanglement is generally reported as more frequent type of pool drain incident than specific finger entrapment. What? I just,
So, okay. So, talking about fingers, though, and pool drains, I do know that I have friends here in Texas that have found snakes in their pool drains. They have found rats. They have found all kinds. So I wouldn't stick my hand in there. I mean,
no.
so maybe your grandparents were trying to get you to not get bitten by something.
Okay, hair finger stuck in pool drain at bottom of, okay, it's still, because I was thinking, is it the thing on the side? No, it really is. I just can't believe it. And he was lucky
Learn
that he was,
something new every day.
I guess he was lucky that he was able to make the hair get sucked in.
Yeah.
Although he's the
So,
one that pulled her out, so then they would never know that it was barely in there, you know?
yeah.
Anyway, whatever. I just disagree still.
There was a lot. I felt like that backstory was a little far-fetched.
Yes.
because it made it seem like Jet's mom and dad were very loving and
Y
caring, and they were doing things together.
yeah.
And usually, honestly, after a child has died,
A
it's
lot of people get
very
divorced.
difficult for like for the husband and wife stay together. And if the wife had already had an affair, was continuously having an
Well
affair, you would think that that would just break the family apart.
and that's the thing, 'cause she did end that ended the affair.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think it is very high statistics of relationships not lasting after that. It's very uncommon for, like you said, parents to stay together. And it's really hard on the children too, because
Yes,
everything says that like the children lose their parents when the parents lose one of their
their
siblings.
child. Yeah.
Which maybe this is the thing too. I did not like Jet. She was a whiny ass baby.
So this was Holly Jackson's debut adult novel. And for the life of me, I don't know what made it adult other than the fact that she cussed a lot, because she really did seem like she was a 15-year-old.
And I would not have disliked her as much if she were a 15-year-old because like, she's 15.
But she's supposed to be a 27-year-old who has gone to like a prestigious university, has done things,
Yes.
but then ended up back at home and
Mhm.
doesn't follow through on things, doesn't get things done.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then her like all the stuff cuz the brother burned down the business.
Yes. So there was multiple bad things happening here.
Yes.
So her brother Luke, who killed their older sister
Yeah.
when he was, what, 12, 14, he killed their sister. And then he goes on to try to take over who he thinks is his dad's business, who's highly successful,
Mhm.
to try to make it even more successful and to make it look like he's turning more of a profit. He
Mhm.
hides things off the books
Yes.
so that, hey, we're just not going to pay these people on the book, so it looks like we're doing better. And
And
then someone,
they don't have to pay as many taxes.
yes. And so then Jet's boyfriend's brother works for the construction company, hurts himself, and is going to report things, I guess, because he's not getting his surgeries paid for. And so then her brother decides, well, the only way to solve this is to burn everything down,
Yeah.
which is stupid because everything is digital.
I know. I know.
If this was in the 70s, sure. I'm sure that,
Well, and even
file
like
copies.
she goes to find paper copies of the files too, of like the vendors and stuff. And I'm like, okay, you would have just go hack the computer.
Yeah,
Like
that's all
this
you have
is
to do. And it was very implausible. But yeah, he burned down the business while she and
his
Billy were
the Billy were
inside
inside,
the
yeah.
building.
And he claims he's like, I knew you would get out. Because he knew they were there. He kind of was framing her.
Yes, he was framing her and trying to kill her at the same time.
Yeah, because she's gonna die
So
anyway.
Luke he's the product of this, what do you call it? Romantic relationship, sexual
Affair.
relationship, affair.
This
There you go. He's the product of an affair. He has killed the sister. He has ruined the dad's business, has set fire to the place. He's married to Jet's former best friend
who
who
also is apparently a psychopath.
tries to kill their dad.
Or supposedly just make him sick.
Yes. Make him sick enough so that he retires so that her husband can have full reign of the business. Like, all of this just seems so weird.
And that all these people in this close knitness are that we have this many like psychos together
Yes.
and not all related. Cause like, yes, some are related, but like two. But it's like it doesn't make sense at all.
And a problem that I had was half of the book was her saying, I've been murdered. I have 7 days to live. I have 5 days to live. Like,
Yeah.
they told her, in 7 days, you have 7 days to live, basically.
Which they
So
wouldn't know the exact
they
time the thing
wouldn't
would
know the exact time. she's doing all of this very stressful stuff. She's trying to find her
It
murderer.
likely
She's
would have happened faster with all this
Yes,
stress.
because she's stressing herself out and contributing to more medical trauma. Like,
Mhm.
she's not resting, she's not sleeping. Like, there was times
No.
where it was like, "Oh, I'm just not gonna sleep." And then there were times where it's like, "Oh, I slept for 12 hours. Why didn't you wake me up?" And it's like, because you're dying."
Yeah.
Like, and she also didn't stay with her family.
No, that was weird
So
to me
she finds
too.
out she's gonna die. She's convinced that she's gonna solve this murder. Only has 7 days, but goes and spends it with her former friend, Billy, who she hasn't really hung out with since she was, like, 12 or
Right, like, that
13.
does not make sense when you have so little time, like I mean, I hope I never find out that I'm wrong about this. God, please don't smite me and be like, "You're gonna find out." But I know, like, to me, I'm just thinking if I were in that position, first of all, I would be a mess. I'd be crying, I think, all the time and, like, attached. If my mom still I'd be attached to my mom, and now my kids. Like, I would be like, "I have to
Yeah,
spend every second with you guys," and yeah.
and she's just hanging out with her old friend, ignoring her family, not really wanting to like, she's being a complete jerk to her brother,
Mhm.
which he's kinda being a jerk to her too, so,
Yeah.
which then
Wait,
it made me feel like they were teenagers, and I'm like, "You're not teenagers, you're adults."
right. Well, and then the whole, like, her and Billy falling in love, like, Billy clearly had been in love with her forever, but her being, like, starting to see it, he literally hardly talked to her.
Yes.
Like, it was her talking at him and making
Mhm.
him do stuff, and then that was, like and then he was a good singer.
But she
Like,
didn't want anything to do with him, didn't wanna
not
like,
until, like
he kept inviting her to his open mic nights, and she wanted nothing to do with it until she needed him.
yep.
And then all of a sudden, like, "Oh, he's not that bad. Like, I could do this."
Yeah,
But guess what? She actually dies.
I
Boom.
know. I know. And you know who I felt bad for in that moment? Billy, because poor Billy is in love with this girl, and he can't even get his happy ending.
Nope.
But he did solve the murder.
That is good that he got to solve it
Yeah.
because she didn't really find out before she died.
No,
So she didn't get what she wanted anyway. Like,
that's true. Okay, that's a
none of this
validating
was worth
moment.
it. None of it was worth it.
None of it was worth
That's
it.
why she murdered herself.
She did. She did.
Also, if you have, like, a traumatic brain injury, I would think, I don't know for sure, I would think they would defer to your next of kin. Although
I
if
don't
you're
know.
conscious, I don't
I
know.
think if you're conscious, they can't. Like, they would have to a doctor if you're unconscious, probably for a certain amount of time, yes. If you're conscious, they have to a doctor has to say that you are not capable of making your own decisions, and then if the person's unwilling to cooperate with that, a judge has at least in Texas. I know in Texas because I know people that by the time was the dementia came on real fast. Like, it was not
Yeah.
like a long drawn out process. It was like within a couple of months, and it was a very hard thing to get that. And it was just like, how can you not just sign off on this? Well, how when this person clearly cannot take care of themselves, but
Huh.
she's got her rights too, even if she doesn't know what's going on.
It's just wild.
It is wild.
All of this to say, both of these books,
We're
they had
misses.
they had potential. They could have been good,
They could have been good. They weren't
but
though.
they just weren't. They weren't. And
I know.
it breaks my heart to say that both of them were bad because I know that the authors probably put a lot of work into this and
I know. I can only
time and effort,
imagine.
and to have them both turn out, and some people love them.
Hmm.
So just because we don't like them
Yeah.
doesn't mean that you're going to dislike them as well. But I
But if
will
you're,
say
go
it's
ahead.
a strong chance you probably won't.
And I will say if you wanna read a Holly Jackson, again, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, the first one, I only read the first sequel because it got real dark, and then I was like, "I just can't do anymore," but the first one's so good, and you can read it as a standalone, and then the reappearance of Rachel Price, also so good, like, one of my favorite books that I either read last year or the year before, and then for Ali Hazelwood, we really liked Bride, and we really liked The Love Hypothesis, so we're not saying we don't like these authors. just these specific books are not for
Yeah.
us. Like
For
okay,
me,
but I'll be
though,
honest.
I've read enough Allie Hazelwood now that I'm
That's
like,
true. Yeah.
I just don't think I'm going to pick up her next book. I
I mean,
actually
that's
have,
fair.
what is it, Deep Water, or what is the name of that book?
I have no idea, but I'm with you on that.
Deep End, Deep End.
Oh
But
wait, no,
I'm
I
like,
heard that one was I heard that one was really good from
and
someone.
see, I have it, but now I'm like, I just don't even want to read it
Okay,
because
I
I feel
might
like it's
borrow
going to
it.
be a waste of time.
If I get a hankering, I'll borrow that one from you.
Okay,
But I agree with you. With Allie Hazelwood, no. With Holly Jackson, I'm not
maybe.
quite done with her yet because I even like her sequel to A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Like it was a good sequel. It just
Mhm.
and maybe it was too realistic to me. Because if you don't know what that one's about, it's about a girl that's trying to solve a murder and she's doing a podcast at the same time. And so after the
And
stuff that
it's
happens
really
in
good.
it is so good. And have you read any of the sequels?
I've read all of them.
Okay, did
I
you like
enjoyed
them
all of
all?
it. Yeah.
Okay, so see, listen to Leyna, because like for me, the second one got so depressing that I was like, I don't know. Or maybe it
Mm.
was the third one, because I did start the third one. I don't know. But Leyna loved them all, so don't listen to me. But I love Holly Jackson. This one just isn't it for me.
Well, on that note, we hope that you all have some happy holidays. We have
Yes.
Thanksgiving coming up. We have Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever holiday you celebrate. We
Yep.
hope that you have a great time. I hope that you spend the rest of November and December cozy in a
Yes.
blanket reading a
With
good
books.
book.
With
I hope
lots of
all of
books.
your books are good for the
Yes.
rest of the year.
And I hope that if you exchange gifts at this time of year that you get a bunch of great books to read. And if you need
Yes.
ideas for gifts, I don't remember what episode it was just recently, but I do know episode 2. It's like episode 2 and episode wait a minute, this is 53, 52, 51, 50. I think it's episode 50.
Okay.
It's either that or 51. So 2 and 50 or 51. Get some good bookish gifts for your friends or for yourself. Treat yourself.
Yes, there's a lot of really good ideas on there. So
Mm-hmm.
we hope that all of you have a wonderful
Great.
rest of 2025.
Yes. And we'll see
We'll
you in
see ya
2026.
next year.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening to More Than a Book Club podcast. We are recorded and produced in McKinney, Texas.
Don't forget to like and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and follow us on Instagram and TikTok.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening.